So let me explain how the jobs market works. For example, in the UK right now, I think there's something like 1 million vacancies. Is that right? I think there's 100,000 vacancies in the NHS. So let's use the NHS as a really good example. Let's just assume for now 50,000 of those are nurses. Okay, out of 100,000 people, vacancies that are available in the NHS, let's just assume that 50,000 of those are nurses. Now, if those jobs or those vacancies are not being filled, how does the government get those jobs filled? There's only really one way. They might add bursaries and some extra stuff like that, but really there's only one way of doing it, and that's to increase the amount of money that nurses get paid, because then they're attracted to come into that marketplace, into that vacancy, into that industry. If I'm running, and we touched on this briefly in the podcast, if I'm running a digital marketing agency and there's 100,000 jobs available for a digital marketer, the only way that I can get a digital marketer, there's all these other 100,000 jobs, all these other vacancies, all looking for a digital marketer. The only way I can get a new digital marketer is to pay 5%, 10%, 15% more than everybody else, right? There's too many vacancies chasing too few people wanting to take up those vacancies. It's very much like the inflation strapline. Too much money chasing too few goods. Too many vacancies chasing too few people, right? So what happens is that the job market, it has to increase its prices in order to go out and get the talent. Now it's got the talent on board. Now it's got to pay the bill, right? And the only way for it to pay the bill is a couple of things, obviously. Sell more stuff or put prices up. And guess what happens? Prices have to go up. Because that's how they get growth. That's how they cover the job of the guy that was just taken on board in order to maintain those profits. They have to put prices up. And so the jobs market right now, we've got 1 million vacancies, like inflation, it hasn't even hit yet. Like, I know we got 5, 6, 7% and 9% on rents, but inflation hasn't actually hit yet. We're in for an inflationary couple of years. Forget about coronavirus. If coronavirus ended right now and everything went back to normal, you're still going to have this ridiculous situation of a jobs market. Too many jobs chasing too few people. The only way to solve it is offer more increase in the salary. That's the only way to do it. And because you're going to do that, you're actually going to then ramp up the inflation figures. And then when you, so I put some notes here. More vacancies mean higher wages to fill them, right? Higher wages mean higher cost of goods to maintain profit. Higher cost of goods to maintain profit means higher inflation. You've got this vicious circle. And when people are talking about in America, a $15 minimum wage, it doesn't increase the price of burgers. Of course it does. It might not do it instantly. And if only one business is putting minimum wage to $15 and everybody else is saved $10, I don't know what the minimum wage is in America, but let's say that one company's got 15 and everyone else is 10, then yeah, you're going to fill vacancies for that one company, and they might have a different way of keeping costs lower. But if everybody did it, the whole thing, what's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships. Old Mother Hubbard, I don't know who came up with that, but a rising tide raises all ships. If everybody does it, and this is the problem that we've got. So I think we've actually got inflation coming in now for the next couple of years, 3 or 4 years minimum. And one of the downsides to higher inflation, something that we talked about very early on, right at the very start, is that interest rates are going to have to rise in order to eradicate that. I was having breakfast at the Ivy in Leeds, which is really nice, by the way. If you've never been, you should really go in. It's just a lovely experience. I know it's an expensive breakfast, like 35 quid for 2 of us, but I don't really think that's overly expensive. If you're on holiday, you'd spend that, and I was on holiday, so whatever. When we go back to Leeds, that's our holiday. Anyway, we were talking about this, and he was like, you're the only guy that really talks about paying down debt, mortgage debt. Nobody else, they're all on about buying more stuff. And I'm actually on about buying more stuff and paying down debt. 30% goes towards debt repayment of mortgages, and 50% goes into buying new property. And the other 10% is crypto, and the other 10% is ISA. That's our allocation of money as to where we're moving money around. But I was the only person he was saying that is talking about paying down debt. But I can see what's coming. We're very good at calling what's coming. And the key for us, because obviously we're highly leveraged with a lot of property, the key for us is really to drop the prices down not drop the prices, drop the level of debt down. And obviously, if there's a large amount of debt in there, there's millions of pounds worth of mortgage debt, which doesn't keep me awake at night. I'm quite happy about that. But we are carrying a little bit more than I would like, so we need to pay that down. Because if you don't pay it down and interest rates go to 10%, everybody's wiped out. And you don't want to be the guy that's wiped out. You want to stay in this game for as long as you can. Because when everybody else is wiped out, guess what happens? House prices plummet. Then we go and we've got the cash available then to go and buy more properties on the cheap, and then prices go back up again. It's just the cycle of things, and it's about understanding the cycle. And in fact, this is what this whole conversation is about, really, is about understanding the cycles. Where are we with all of this? What's going on? What's happening? And so understanding the cycles is absolutely paramount. Anyway, look, I hope that's useful for you. We'll catch up with you on the next one. My name's Dan Latto. Have yourselves a wicked day. We'll speak to you soon.